been some time since we did one of these, so it's time for another song meaning deep dive. And up next we have the iconic But Daddy I Love Him. I really love this song so much. It was already one of my favorites from the release day. So let's get right into the lyrics. I forget how the West was won. I forget if this was ever fun. I just learned these people only race you to cage you. Some people think the West reference is some sort of Travis Kelce reference, but I actually doubt it. The phrasing how the West was won could more likely be in reference to a classic movie title. To me, she's really just saying she doesn't really remember how she got to where she is in life right now, and she doesn't remember if it was ever really fun to be in the center of attention and having people just always talking about you, but she's saying the people around you will only race you up to cage you. So just to criticize your every move. Sarah's and Hannah's in their Sunday best, clutching their pearls, sighing what a mess. I just learned these people try to save you because they hate you. So naturally in Taylor fashion, she paints a really vivid picture of this. So there's these women in their church attire and just clutching their pearls like, oh my God, we should stay away from this person. How is she acting this way? Very judgmental. Feeling sorry for her, but also criticizing her at the same time. And then people come and offer you their help, but not because they care about you, but because they don't accept who you are and they don't accept what you're doing. She continues, too high a horse for a simple girl to rise above it. So Taylor is just saying that these people are sitting up on their high horses and just her as a simple person, even though I would claim she's far from that, but internally that's how she feels. She doesn't feel like she can just rise above the hate. Being in the public eye and receiving so much criticism can be exhausting. They slammed the door on my whole world, the one thing I wanted. So she finally finds something that brings her to life. She's excited about it. And then people just start slamming the door on her, keeping her out, essentially not accepting her and what she wants, which is this new relationship. Now I'm running with my dress unbuttoned, screaming, but daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces. The imagery here really suggests a sense of urgency, recklessness, vulnerability. The unbuttoned dress, I think, symbolizes just breaking the norms. As we talked about before, but Daddy I Love Him could be also a reference back to The Little Mermaid.
Daddy, I love him!
But essentially, she's just throwing a tantrum. Her father doesn't accept him and she says, but I love him. Then she jokes that she's pregnant to create a reaction out of everybody. And then quickly reverts that she's in fact not. But it just goes to show how invested people are due to their reaction. So not just her family, but friends. And I think, of course, it's also addressing the public eye. I'm telling him to floor through the fences. No, I'm not coming to my senses. I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want. Again, in this section, she's talking about defying the norms, breaking the rules, floor it through the fences, just drive through everything. She refuses to quote unquote come to her senses, which is what people are probably telling her. Like, you need to come to your senses. What are you doing? And she's like, nope, I'm not gonna do what you call come to my senses, because for her, she's already in her senses. She's doing this willingly. This is what she wants. Dutiful daughter, all my plans were laid. Tendrils tucked into a woven braid. Growing up precocious sometimes means not growing up at all. I think the first line here really encompasses Taylor's image of being a good girl. The girl next door. The girl everybody loves. Kind of like this whole narrative that she talks about in Miss Americana. The dutiful daughter implies how she's following like the social norms and the familiar obligations, and her plans were laid in front of her, meaning that she didn't have much autonomy. Like, people were telling her, this is what you're gonna do, then this, then that. And this is reinforced by that second line, where the tendrils can symbolize organic growth. If you don't know, these are tendrils, but since they are tucked into a woven braid, the natural growth of it is restrained and restricted into growing in that shape. Basically being controlled. That last line kind of encompasses the whole message. So if you're trying to grow, but your growth is controlled, then sometimes you just end up not growing up at all. So you don't really learn because you're not making your own choices. It's a really bittersweet reflection on the cost that comes with meeting expectations of other people. The chorus continues, he was chaos, he was revelry, bedroom ice like a remedy. Soon enough, the elders had convened down at the city hall. Stay away from her. The saboteurs protested too much. Lord knows the words we never heard, just screeching tires and true love. Again, we get another really vivid image from Miss Swift. She paints a picture of their love being kind of like a rebellion. Him coming in with all the chaos is the cure for her growing up so restricted. And of course, with that came judgment from those around her. And despite all the drama around them and the disapproval of their relationship, their love itself becomes a powerful way to rebel against society itself. And now we get back into that very same chorus, but it comes with an extension. And I think this might be my favorite part of the song. I don't know about you guys. She pleads, I'll tell you something right now. I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning. I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. I don't cater to all these vipers dressed in empath's clothing. So this bit I really love because it's like after all this time of playing the role of the dutiful daughter, she has finally decided to take ownership of her own life and make her own decisions, set her own path, make her own plans. She's not worried about taking other people's judgments anymore. And if anyone is worried about what it will do to her name, she says, hey, guess what? That's my name for me to ruin if I want to. The vipers in empath's clothing basically is saying that there's people out there who are dressed like they're sympathizing with her, like they care about her, but really they do not. The next segment continues. God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me, sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see. The first time I heard this, I was like, what? But essentially, she's being a little bit sarcastic. She's calling out people for being hypocrites. The sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see is essentially the same message as the vipers wearing empath's clothing. Like they say that they're praying for her and they want what's best for her, but this is all happening behind her back. She will never see it. So they're actually just gossiping and criticizing. It's not that they care for her. Thinking it can change the beat of my heart when he touches me and counteract the chemistry and undo the destiny. You ain't gotta pray for me and my wild boy and all his wild joy. If all you want is gray for me, then it's just white noise. It's just my choice. Taylor is kind of laughing at people saying like, how can you imagine that what you think is somehow gonna affect how I feel? Why do you think that my heart is going to beat to the rhythm of your desires? Why do you think that you will undo the chemistry that I feel here just because of your judgment? Essentially saying like, hey, judge all you want, nothing's changing. And everything she's doing is finally her choice. We move on to, there's a lot of people in town that I bestow upon my fakest smile. Scandal does funny things to pride, but brings lovers closer. Here Taylor is saying how now she has a fake smile reserved for a lot of people, probably in the case that these people were gossiping or making more drama around the situation and it came back to her. So now when she sees them, she just has to fake a smile. But what she's saying here is that it doesn't matter how much drama was actually stirred up because the end result was that it brought them more closer together. We came back when the heat died down, went to my parents and they came around. All the wine moms are still holding out, but it's over. So things turn around for Taylor. She comes back with her family. They end up accepting the relationship. And while other people didn't accept it, that didn't matter anymore. It's done. And we get a new variant of the chorus. Now I'm dancing in my dress in the sun. So contrary to running with my dress unbuttoned, which symbolized rebellion, she's dancing in the sun, symbolizing happiness and freedom. Even my daddy just loves him. She no longer needs to justify to her family why she is with this person. They accept him and now they also really like him. I'm his lady and oh my god, you should see your faces. Time. Doesn't it give some perspective? No, you can't come to the wedding. I know he's crazy, but he's the one that I want. So she concludes by reiterating like, this is my choice, this is what I want. And while people might continue to be shocked by it, it doesn't matter to her anymore. No, you can't come to the wedding, I think is addressing the people who might like later change their mind and pretend like they were always supportive when they were the ones stirring up all the drama. And then the song closes out with a few repetitions of what we have already heard. And all in all, this song is basically about how Taylor followed her heart despite social and maybe family pressure to get out of this certain relationship. We see a lot of different themes, but I think one of the main ones is like rebellion versus conformity. For me, this is really one of the best songs in the album. What do you guys think about it? Did I miss anything or do you analyze anything differently than me? Let me know below because I love to hear about this stuff. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!